Welcome to Hang Time. This week we're here in Jeddah, and joining me is Andy Ogletree from the HyFlyers. We're going to play the 9th hole. We're going to have a chat and have a great time. Let's do this.
What's up, Su-Ann?
What's up, Andy?
How are you? Good to see you.
How are you? Good to
Great.
see you.
Yeah.
We're going to watch you play the 9th. You've played this a few
Yeah.
times. You just said you hate this hole, so
Well,
let's maybe try and
maybe we'll change
that.
the narrative here.
Yes, yes, exactly. Well, Michael, where's the win? Off the left?
A little bit in from the left. Yeah, I don't like this tee shot because it works a little left to right once it lands, and I like to play a little cut as well. So it's hard for me to hold the fairway, but we'll see if we can hit a little draw here.
What's your line?
I'm trying to land it on that LIV Golf tower in the distance.
Okay.
If I hit one good, I can barely carry that bunker. A little right.
Well, Andy, we're here in Jeddah. It's a long way from Little Rock, Mississippi, and Atlanta, right, which is where you live. You've now won 3 times on 3 different continents.
I have, yeah.
When you left Little Rock when you were a kid, did you see this happening at all?
I never really envisioned playing a worldwide tour. You know, growing up, the dream was always to play the PGA Tour, and I would go to a lot of events, and I never really, you know, thought I would go outside of that. But things change, and different opportunities have presented themselves, and I'm so thankful to be on LIV Golf this year. Traveling the Asian Tour last year was amazing. Such a great experience, getting to see the world and play golf along the way. So, but to be on LIV this year is awesome. And you know, that was when I left college, I had limited options, and the Asian Tour route became the best option. So, yeah, it is what it is, and I've kind of just rolled with it and tried to make the best of it. And I had an amazing year last year, and to set myself up for what's to come this year and going forward is awesome, and so thankful to be a part of it.
Now, you mentioned the PGA Tour. You know, you won the U.S. Amateur.
Yeah.
Then you played the Masters, got the lowest M at the Masters. Then you got conditional status on the Korn Ferry.
That's right, yeah.
And then you got an invite.
I did.
To come and play in Centurion in 2022. That was a huge decision to make at the time of your career.
It was.
How? I mean, are you happy with it now, looking back?
Yeah, I couldn't be happier. But at the time, you know, I was traveling the country playing Monday qualifiers because my category wasn't high enough on the Korn Ferry Tour list to get into the event. So playing Monday qualifiers, didn't feel like I was getting better. I went to my agent, Mac Barnhart, and I'm like, man, I want to play anywhere. Like, I'll go anywhere in the world. I just want to play 4-day events. I want to play tournaments against great competition. I don't feel like I'm getting better, and I feel like I'm just kind of waiting until the next Q school. Got a call a few weeks later that I could play the first event on LIV Golf, and that also gave me Asian Tour status.
Right.
So it was a no-brainer for me because I genuinely just wanted to play tournaments that matter. I wanted to have a schedule. I wanted to have tournaments to prepare for, know when my next start was, stuff like that. So at the time, it didn't feel like that big of a decision because it was kind of a no-brainer for me. It's like, I need somewhere to play.
Yeah, I just wanted to compete at that point.
I need you know, a schedule. So that's what it was about for me, and the rest has just been kind of a bonus.
Yeah, well, you talked about, you know, a dream was to play the PGA Tour. When you first packed your bags to go play at Centurion, and then from there you then ended up playing all over the globe.
Yeah.
What was that experience like? What was that first experience like leaving the United States?
I guess it was just a little naive. Like, I didn't think it was that big a deal. And I was taking local caddies every week on Asian Tour, and I was traveling completely solo. And looking back, I guess that's kind of scary, like, you know, traveling across the world by yourself and doing all these things. But at the time, it was just like, I really was wanting to play golf tournaments, so I didn't care where it was.
Which was the one place that you were like, oh my goodness, like,
my first trip to Asia was Singapore, and it was like mid-COVID. And
Careful.
You're having to, I can't be too. I can't hate on Singapore too much, but no, it was cool, and it was mid-COVID, so we were having to do all the COVID testing, and it was a pretty crazy experience, but we went from there to Jeju Island, and just getting to see all these different places that I'd never been before was wild, and experience different cultures and different foods and different cuisines. it's just super cool. And everywhere I've gone, I've tried to go out in the town and see the cool stuff and kind of be a tourist almost. And you know, I'm young and able to getting to travel the world like that is awesome. And you know, I've really enjoyed it, and I want to keep doing that as much as I can. Obviously, we're playing a full LIV schedule, 14 events, and then I'll probably play some more Asian Tour events as well, just because I enjoy it so much. And all the people that I've met have been great, and they've been so supportive for me. And I think I have status out there for 5 years now since I won the Asian Tour Order of Merit. So I can kind of pick and choose the cool places that I want to go see. And
Singapore, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I'll always play Singapore. As long as you take us back to that market where we have those fresh coconuts.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Your caddy Michael ate by far the most food I've ever seen.
He ate everything that you brought, I think.
Absolutely. I kept bringing out food and you kept eating.
The craziest was that, oh my gosh, we had stingray, which was wild.
I know, yeah. I ordered them barbecued stingray. Now, when you got to Centurion in 2022, you had just gone through a hip surgery. You're recovering from that. How difficult is it to bounce back after a big surgery like a hip surgery?
No, it was tough. I mean,
and then playing the way you did after that.
Yeah,
you know?
The start of my pro career was really interesting. You know, after you win the USAM, you think you're just going to have the traditional route and play your 7 sponsor invites and earn your card. And you know, it's a naive way of thinking, but like that's kind of the route that I thought I would go. And you know, things didn't work out. I ended up having only played 4 of my sponsor invites, and then ended up having to have hip surgery. After surgery, I had lost all those sponsor invites because obviously there's a new USAM champ by that point, and different guys are coming out of college. I wasn't really the amateur that was coming out and deserving sponsor invites. So my options were super limited. You go to Korn Ferry Q School, and I had a bad final stage at Q School, so I finished 100 on the list, and that doesn't set you up for getting into the tournaments. And then it's like, oh my gosh. So after my hip surgery coming back, London was basically my first event. You know, I didn't play great there, but I was seeing momentum in my body. I was learning a new swing. I was learning new ranges of motion in my hips, my back, and kind of learning how to piece it together. And I really started to see momentum as I started playing Asian Tour events. And then I won in Egypt at the end of 2022, which gave me a lot of confidence and momentum going into that off season. I had a great off season and had a really good year. So it was a great 2-year run, but it all kind of started in London for sure.
All right, well, let's watch you hit your second shot here.
Yeah, here we go. What we got, Mikey?
Andy, we got 183 pin, 77 front, wind pretty much straight in.
What do you like to play? Typically a cut?
I like to play a little cut, but on this hole I kind of want to hit just a straight one right at that 9, which is just left of the pin.
Okay.
If it lands right at this pin, it kicks down, and it's, unless you get it really deep into the green, it rolls down the water.
They've
shaved
left
everything
or right.
off there, so try to hit it in there a little long left, and that bunker's actually not bad either. A little out of the right, Mike?
Yeah.
That's headed for your Pro-Am partners.
Yeah, hopefully I don't hit them.
That's all right there.
Yeah, that's okay.
Good.
Yeah, good to practice that one anyway.
Well, you just mentioned college and amateur and all that. You had a pretty influential person on your life, Bruce.
Yeah,
Hepler.
Coach Hep.
Coach Hep.
My guy.
How influential was he?
I mean, he was very influential. Since I started the recruiting process, I had planned to go to all these different schools, and we'd set up recruiting visits and whatever. And I got to Georgia Tech, and I was like, I want to play for this guy. I liked everything he stood for. Everything's earned. Everything's built on hard work, and he kind of gave me that all throughout college. We qualified. I came home from the USAM and had to go qualify for the next event. Like everything was earned, and that's how pro golf is. You know, like nothing's given to you. And you know, I won the USAM, and I was on the Walker Cup team, and I was top 5 amateur in the world. And you know, I thought that I was going to get more, but nothing's guaranteed, and I had to go earn it. And you know, that my college experience set me up for that, and I think that it's really helped me on this journey of professional golf after college, of just genuinely trying to earn everything that I get, and it's gotten me to live.
Was he supportive with your decision coming here?
Absolutely. He's always just wanted me to play and be happy, and you know, do whatever I wanted to do. So this is this is making me happy, and I'm able to play events that matter and against great competition, and also getting to see the world.
Well, speaking of great competition, we found a letter, right? Well, your socials team found a letter and posted it on the HyFlyers socials of a letter that you wrote when you were a kid.
Yeah.
And Phil's name was in that letter, and you
Yeah,
saying
that's pretty cool.
how you wanted to be a pro golfer. How old were you when you wrote that?
I think I was 8 years old. So one of my best friends growing up, his mom was my 3rd grade teacher, and she kept the note after I wrote it, and she was like, oh, you know, maybe one day Andy will make it professionally, and you know, this will be a cool little thing. And I was a good golfer at a young age, so people kind of thought that maybe one day I would make it. So I'm so glad that she kept that note. It's so cool. I actually have it framed in my childhood bedroom back home in Mississippi. So
oh, that's awesome.
when I go back, it's cool to see. And you know, this has been a dream of mine for a long time. And since I was, you know, 5, 6 years old, I've wanted to play professional golf at the highest level. And to be here is it's pretty cool. I have to pinch myself sometimes.
Yeah, well, speaking of pinching yourself, a name that you mentioned in that letter was your captain, Phil Mickelson.
Yeah.
Today, you're here in Jeddah.
Yeah.
And you're on his team.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
I mean, it's so awesome. Growing up watching Phil, I mean, he's one of my favorite players since I can remember. I would go to the Tour Championship in Atlanta every year. My dad would take me, and I wanted to get Phil's autograph and get a golf ball from Phil, or, you know, watch him hit flop shots and do all the things. And now I consider him a good friend of mine. So it's super weird almost at times. You're like, I'm friends with Phil Mickelson? Like, what are you talking about? Like, you know, we spent some of the off season out at his house in California, and I mean, I never thought that would be something that I'm saying.
Like, hey,
oh,
I'm just chilling with Phil.
Flew out to Phil's house, hung out for a week. You know, we're playing games every day and chipping in his backyard, and no, it's really crazy to think about. But he's been so great to us, me and Mike and everyone else on my team, and he's helped me a lot. I've learned a ton from him.
What's the best advice he's given you so far?
So far, I mean,
he's got a few.
it's more of just picking up things from watching how he goes about his stuff.
Yeah.
He's so optimistic. He really cares, you know, about everyone. It's not just him. He wants everyone to succeed. He's been so open with different shots around the greens and different advice. And it's amazing to me, like, how dedicated he still is, you know, at his age and what he's accomplished. He gets up every morning, like, genuinely trying to get better at golf that day. And that's definitely something that I've taken from him, is like, wow, to be great for a long time, you have to really love the game, and you have to really want to keep getting better and better and better and developing your skills. So I'd say that's probably the thing that I've taken from him.
Well, coming off the International Series, you were a hot commodity. I'm sure you had a few calls from different teams during the trade window.
Yeah.
I'm sure. What made you choose HyFlyers?
Well,
was the...
Like you said, I grew up loving Phil Mickelson. He was one of my favorite players. So he was a big decision in that. And the team camaraderie that they built, the team atmosphere they have, everyone's, you know, so great. Steely and Cam are awesome guys, and to be around them every day. I also have the Georgia Tech connection with Tringali. So
that's right.
we have a lot of common stories, from Coach Hepler's stories or different experiences or different restaurants that are still there that we both went to in college. And Mike, my caddy, also went to Georgia Tech and was on the golf team there with me. So we have a lot in common with all those guys, and I've really just enjoyed it. I've made the right decision.
Yeah.
It's been a blast.
That's awesome. I mean, you certainly look like you fit right in.
Yeah,
into the
we do
team.
a lot together. I mean, we go to dinners and we play together pretty much every day. I don't think a lot of teams do that, but yeah, there's some type of game every day.
That's cool. That's awesome. All right, let's watch you hit this one. Got a lot of green to work with.
Mike,
but...
you should have kicked this thing on the upslope over there.
I tried my best.
I'm on
Mike's slacking.
I mean, this is crap.
This
Downslope, running away.
Good luck.
Good luck, yeah. Good advice.
Let's see if Phil's...
pressure's on Phil
yeah,
here,
let's
not
see
me.
if Phil's technique rubbed off.
So we're working on getting this around this left knee. So let's see if it works here.
Woo!
Not too bad.
Yeah, that's butter.
We'll give Phil an A there.
That's butter. Well, Andy, it looks like your career is just starting.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
That's a great question. 10 years is a long time. We'll see. I mean, I'm just trying to get better every day. Trying to win golf tournaments every time that I show up, and see where that takes me. I mean, I hope that LIV is, you know, still going strong in 10 years, and I hope that it keeps getting better and better, and I hope that I'm a part of it. I've really enjoyed my time out here. I love being part of a team. It's so awesome. It's kind of, it sounds crazy to say rejuvenated my career, but I mean, it's different. It's like college golf all over again, and I really thrived in that environment. I love the concept of everyone doing everything together and everyone pushing each other and practicing together and learning things from each other, and that's what we get out here, and it's been really fun. So I would love to be a part of it for as long as possible.
Well, watching the way you've been playing, sky's the limit for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
All right, let's watch you make this this par.
Knock this in. Thanks, Mikey.
Solid.
There we go.
Andy, thank you so much for joining me. Appreciate it. Appreciate your time. Play well this week. We look forward to watching you for the rest of the season on HyFlyers.
Yeah, and, hopefully we'll get on that podium. We've been talking about it. Haven't played great in the first 2 events, but it's early in the year and everyone seems to be figuring it out and getting better and better. So I think the sky's the limit for the HyFlyers.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.